Hi, welcome to or back to my channel. Today I am going to be going over my recent market where I sold out of everything besides one of my horses and 2 bandanas. I'm going to go over how much of each item I sold, how much each item was priced at, and just my overall experience and just information about why I feel like this market went so well. A little bit about this market, because I do feel as though it is very relevant, is that it was at a middle school, and therefore lots of, middle school kids and their siblings, and it was for a, like they were having like their spring music festival type thing. So they would go in and have like their choir and have like a concert, and then there would be like an intermission, and then everybody would shop, and then they'd go in, have a concert, intermission, people would shop. There was probably only about 20 vendors there, and I was the only crochet vendor, which I feel is extremely important when it comes to success, unless the other crochet vendors are selling something completely different, like one selling split blankets, one selling wearables, one selling, amigurumi. So yeah, I think that the fact that it was at a school, the fact that I was one of the only the fact that I was the only crochet vendor played a huge part in the success of this event. I was not like super motivated leading up to it, just because I've been in kind of like a market prep funk. I've already mentioned it in past videos, but the next market that I have coming up, they have 5 crochet vendors, and it's a juried event, and I'm just not really completely sure on why they have 5 crochet vendors. Apparently they looked at our stuff and we all make different things. I don't know. I've never, they didn't put out a list of all the vendors yet, but it just kind of like bummed me out, because it has become a pretty saturated market, which is fine. I love that people love to crochet and make amazing things. It just kind of sucks, when you go to just for anybody, like not just for me, but for anybody, like I'm sure the other people aren't going to be happy when I'm setting up my crochet stuff, and they sell crochet. Yeah. So I was having trouble market prepping. I wish that I would have, if I would have known the outcome of like how this was going to pan out, I would have been more motivated to crochet. But it was really hard for me to like, so I would just spend days where I would just do nothing, and those days, I could have been making a bunch of small things. So for this event, I made a lot of the stuff that I don't really like to make, like a bunch of leggy frogs, and like the little octos and the really popular items. I typically don't like to make them, just because if there are other crochet vendors there, they are most likely going to be selling those as well. So I like to keep it different. Also, I don't always enjoy doing it. I found a color, like a color scheme, I guess, for the frogs that like I was like, oh, this is like really pretty, using the Big Twist plush yarn, and it kind of like motivated me to like make more, just because I don't know, like using different colors sometimes can help me. So yeah, I made a lot of that stuff just because it was more of like a last minute market. It was more of like I spent so much money on yarn in the past month, like I just need to replenish some, stuff. Here's how I'm going to do it. I have a Google Doc here. I'm going to just list how much I sold everything for, just because I didn't have a problem selling anything. People went after the frogs and the chickens and the octos pretty quickly, like in the beginning, but I mean, it was kind of like whoever got there first got whatever was left. I sold out, I want to say it was probably within like the first 2 hours. So I don't really think that the whole list of things is relevant of like, what sold the fastest or the quickest. It's just kind of because everything sold pretty quick. But I will go down and I will say how many of each I had and how much I sold them for. The only thing is I added 2 octos and a frog at the end. I was able to crochet them during the event, and they sold as well. So what I like to do is I like to put out a Google sheet, or like write up a Google sheet of like I list all the patterns, and then I put the quantity goal of each pattern, the price that I want to sell them for, and then quantity completed, and then it brings up like a current total. It's just something that I made. Like I didn't buy it from anywhere. I just, you know, plugged in the formulas and stuff. But that way I can just see like, you know, how many I've made. And then I have a planned total of like what I want to make, and then current total. So that's like how much I have made so far. And so I'm able to know how much I'm taking to the event. All right. So with my octos, I made 6 plus the 2 that I made in the end. They all sold, and I sold them for $6. They're really small, and I can make them in not even, like, I don't know, probably like 5 minutes. So, yeah, so sold them for $6. So then I sold 4 Mabel chickens. The small ones, I sold them for $9 each. Then I had the chunky bees. I had 4 of them, and I sold them for $15 each. I then had a turtle, like a strawberry turtle, sold it for $18. Just had 1 of those. Then I had 6, let me see, it says 6 leggy frogs, just like a little whale. I just made 1, and I sold that for, I'm trying to think if I think I sold that for $6. And then I did backpack charms. Also, like, they're just like keychains, but I kind of wrote keychains, backpack charms, just because, you know, I don't know, in middle school, like, people can put stuff on their backpack. So anyway, so I sold those for $8 each, and I had 12 of those, and I sold all of them. Fruit snails, I made 5 of them. I sold them for $12 each. No So Cat, I just had 1 of those, and I sold that for $12. Raya the Sun, I showed in my past video. I sold that for $25. So I had this little cow. I sold that for $15. Just had 1. Then I had 1 hippo. I sold the hippo for $12. I sold my bear for, actually, I think I put $18. I remember putting $18 on that bear. So I sold the bear for $18. Then I have the flocker birds. For 1 of them, I sold 1 of them for $25, the rooster, and then I sold the flamingo for $20. I made a little mandrake that was $15. I had 1 of those. A tree buddy, I sold it for $12. I had 1 of those. A moth, I sold that for $18, and I had 1 of those. Cupcakes, I have 3 here, but I think I might have had 4. And I sold them for $10 each. My fluffy frog for $18. I sold I listed my horse as, I'm trying to think, $29, but I did not sell that horse. That's the one horse that I did not sell. My large horse. I used to have this large horse. I started out, I feel as though I had it maybe for like $90 at a market probably like a year or so ago. And I just kind of like kept lowering it over time, and I was just kind of like ready to let it go. And yeah, I'm just like, you know, I'm just ready to let it go. So I sold it for $45, which was half of what I you know, originally wanted for it, but that's okay because I was ready to let it go. Same with my purple sheep. I remember that taking me ages to do, and I think I originally started out with like maybe $50 in the past, but for this event I just put it for $20. I'm trying to think. I have fluffy birds, and I remember I made 1 of them. I don't even have it here. I made 1 fluffy bird, and I sold that fluffy bird for $9. And then I have a big Mabel chicken for $18, and I had 1 of those. So I'm pretty sure that's everything. Numbers aren't perfect. I sold out of everything that I had besides the 2 bandanas and the horse. I made $680, which is the most I've ever made at a market. I believe that if I would have had more, I would have sold out of that as well, like more of the small items. So yeah, that's really that. The vending, like most of the vendors there were geared towards adults. like, you know, adult jewelry, and there was like a Scentsy booth there, and like adult clothing. There was one place selling bows, and then there was my area, and so it was like I was like the main one that the kids would go to. So I do believe that it just depends on that. I will see you in the next video. It'll probably just be a week of crochet. I'm not really sure yet. But yeah, we will see. I will likely put out another video at the end of the week. Subscribe. I have multiple markets coming up, and I would love to take you guys along. Bye.